Hey everyone, thanks for joining us on Vacation Station TV, your virtual getaway. And today I am blessed by being at Pilgrim Pottery in Wares Valley. And I'm with one of the owners right now, and this is Teresa. And how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Now this place is very cool, cooler than cool.
Thank you.
Tell us about this pottery shop.
Well, we're Pilgrim Pottery, as you said. We started out as missionaries in South Africa. We were there for 15 years, and we used our pottery wheel to do evangelism out in the schools, the townships, and municipalities. And the Africans actually gave us our name. They said, "You are the Pilgrim Potter."
How cool was that?
That was pretty cool. So we just kept it. We just kept it. It worked.
It's a perfect name.
So what we do here is we are a working studio. So we make while we're here. So when you walk in, we may be doing something. We may be eating our lunch. We might be trimming a pot or making something. We roll real leaves into our pieces, like this right here. You see that? That's actually from a real leaf from the Smoky Mountains that we roll into the piece.
Wow.
He will burn off in the kiln, but the image that remains or the impression that's there is from the real leaf.
What made you do that? When did you come up with that?
You know, I think it's something maybe I don't know. I just like to do it. It's fun. It's unique. It's very labor intensive, but
oh, I bet it. Can you do that with any leaves?
You can. We've done oak leaves before, but we have used maple leaves majority of the time because they take up a larger space. A lot of the pieces, well, these are probably smaller leaves. We have some like this right here. What happens with the maple leaf is because of these little areas here, the drips will come down and just make a beautiful, beautiful.
Very nice.
Yeah, and we can't control that. That happens in the kiln. It's very pretty.
That's the magic of pottery.
That's right.
Each one is its own individual piece.
Now the other thing that we do, and one thing that probably is not very common, is we are also licensed artists, not just pottery, but the art too. So all of the artwork that you see in our shop, whether it's in the form of a print or a puzzle, is also done by us. So we do a lot of signing and picture taking and all that stuff too. So.
True entrepreneurs.
We try.
I like it. Show me around some more.
Sure. So we've got steins. We've got these really cool leaf bakers. Now these are the only leaves that are not real. We actually make them with a little stamp mold kind of thing that we pull out. But everything is microwave, dishwasher safe.
Very cool to know.
Oven safe too, yes. Absolutely.
Oven up to how hot?
350 is what we recommend.
So a standard meal.
Absolutely.
That's not bad at all.
We also make our own candles. So my daughter, which you'll probably meet soon, uses some of our pieces and she'll make her own candles.
Scented candles, I'm sure.
Of course,
of
yes.
course. People like scented candles.
Of course, we have honeys. Now this is our mug station. So
mug station?
Mug station.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. So
stand
this
over
is where
there. Stand there.
Okay.
So I'll get you there. That's what I want. Okay.
This is where all of we sell a lot of mugs. So a lot of people like our mugs. Of course, they're handmade.
I like them.
So they're all different sizes, colors. But the one cool thing about ours is, of course, it'll have the leaf on either side, but it has this really cool handle and this little guy here. It's a little thumb rest.
And that's for stability.
It is for stability. People like it because, I mean, your liquid can get hot, heavy, whatever. But we've had a lot of people that say they have arthritis and it helps them hold their grip a little better.
I'm one of them.
So that's kind of.
And they're all different. You're right.
They are. Yeah.
And they all have little designs. So you do all those designs, or your husband does?
Well, actually.
Do you throw too?
My husband makes the forms. I tried, but I'm not really good at it. He's better at the throwing of the forms. But my daughter and I will do all of the handles, the leaves, and then the sayings. So.
Very nice. Very cool looking.
So the other thing that we have, whoops, my light fell down. We have
those are
face jugs.
Face jugs.
Aren't they cute?
Very, very cute indeed.
My daughter does all of those.
Good job. Those are different.
Of course, we have lamps.
Now, what about this?
These are called Rebecca pitchers. These were inspired. They're more Mediterranean, so you'll see a lot of these in the more of the Mediterranean kind of pieces, museums and things. It dates back to the biblical time of Rebecca when she was at the well, and she would take a pitcher and draw a well out. And so that is characteristic of what we found in different museums.
Very tastefully done too, and they have the leaves.
They also have
which
the
is
leaves,
very cool.
Really functional too. They're glazed inside, so people use them for, vases.
And why wouldn't you?
Whatever you want, really.
Why wouldn't you?
Yep, sure. So we have lamps too. So the lamps are cool. where they actually have cutouts, so you can turn it on or off.
Oh, very nice. So you see through them.
So
It gives
it's
like
like
a
a nightlight.
gentle, nice. Yes, yes.
So we do that
Very
too.
cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
And what about these over here? These got giant soup bowls.
These are actually berry bowls. So you put your berries in them, and you rinse your berries out, and then all the water drains out here.
Oh, that's the.
These
So
are
that
bowls.
wouldn't make a good soup bowl, would
No,
it?
it wouldn't.
That would be leaking
Unless
all
you
over
want
the
to drink
floor
it
real
like
quick.
this.
Unless you drank really fast. I didn't see the holes till you pointed that out. Berry bowls.
Yeah. Now another cool thing, let's come over here. Another cool thing that people like, we have two other products besides our mugs, which are probably our #1 favorite thing because leaves are such a big deal around here.
Yes, they are.
The other thing we do is what we call a bread baker. And we put the leaves on our bread bakers as well.
Okay.
And it comes with 4 different recipes. And they're all varying of colors, but you can put this in the oven and you can bake beautiful,
Bake your
beautiful bread.
And what a presentation at
Yeah.
dinner with family,
Of course.
right?
Absolutely.
What a great gift for people to think about.
It comes with 4 different recipes. We have a 5th one on our website that people can get.
And what is your website?
It is www.pilgrimpottery.net.
Easy to remember.
Easy to remember. Yep.
All right, let's head on over
Okay.
to the master. Wait, I got to look at her first. All right, now this is
Charity.
Charity. What are you doing?
I'm currently working on one of our lamps. So this is going to be one of the lamps like she showed you earlier with the cutouts in it. So it would have the light inside. So I'm currently designing the cabins and the trees, make it look more pretty.
I notice you're not using any like cutout or picture. You're just doing this from memory?
Well, it's more imagination, I would say.
Okay.
I'm just kind of going as I want.
A true artist.
Oh yeah, I can show you the leaves.
Tell me, where do you get the leaves?
Well, the leaves are kind of just wherever we go, we pick them up.
There's no leaves around here.
Yeah, so
It's all
it's just
Disney.
soaked in water.
Okay.
Then I would take it over here. Let's say we want it there. Take a rolling pin and just roll it straight in. So that kind of press it into the
And that
clay.
holds it into there.
Yes.
Now, is that soft clay at this point?
It's in a point we like to call leather hard,
Leather
where it's
hard.
not sopping wet,
Okay.
but it is to the point where I can hold it.
And cut it.
Yes. So here's a piece that we did yesterday that you can kind of see what it would look like at the very end.
yes. The imprint is there.
Yeah.
And then you can glaze over it when you want, right?
Yes,
and
sir.
Just the style and the imprint of the leaf is in there. Very cool.
Yes, sir.
Very cool idea. Who thought of that?
I think Native Americans did.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to tell where it originated from.
Very It's cool. I enjoy that. Very nice. Thank you. All right. Here's the big guy. All right. All right. Now, tell everyone who you are.
Well, my name is Joshua Ben King, and I guess I'm the Pilgrim Potter by default.
You are. By proxy, yes.
Yeah.
By all means. And right now, you're throwing something.
No, we threw these mugs yesterday. We give them a haircut today. We trim them today.
A haircut?
Then, yeah, well, it's a haircut in pottery,
Okay.
and it'll go over. My daughter will put the leaves on, like I think she showed you,
Right.
and they'll put handles on, and then it goes to the kiln room to dry.
How long does it need to be in the drying kiln?
You know, probably 10 days. I try to give
Really?
at least 10 days. Well, we want to go slow. We don't want to, there's no shortcuts.
Is that the normal time?
You know, there are things a potter could do to speed it up, put like a fan on it, more heat on it, but you know,
Does that compromise
no.
if you put a fan on
No,
it?
I mean, sometimes potters will even kind of put it in the sunshine. let
Right,
the sun,
right.
Dry. So we have to work with the weather.
So 10 days. So how big of a kiln do you have?
Well, kilns.
Kilns,
yes.
plural.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Now when they're full,
kilns.
you have to stop, right? Or can you put stuff on a shelf for a while?
This is a dance.
Okay.
You're always juggling.
Moving from here
Oh,
and
yeah,
moving
the-
from
It
there.
demands it. The pottery demands it. So.
Now what are you going to do here? Show us.
Oh, I was just trimming this mug up. I've gotten promoted. I don't have to do a lot of the trimming anymore.
Must be nice.
Yeah, I'll be getting back to throwing on the wheel here. I was just doing this to,
And it's soft enough for you to actually trim. I mean,
Yeah,
it's really
this is-
shaving it.
This is at a stage that they call leather hard. So the clay has gotten hard enough that I can hold it. You know, I can pick it up. It's not going to deform. have to clean it up a little bit, but you know, it's not going to deform. It's at a leather hard stage, and that's the stage that you trim it.
Now, if you ever wanted to, let's say you didn't like this and you wanted to soften it up, can you just soften it up with water and stuff? Or is there a curing that's going on?
I guess you could, but as a potter, I think what we're doing is like theology. We're actually like doing theology, and sometimes you have to let things go. You know, if it ain't working out right, there's only one power that clay has, and that's basically to surrender into the potter's hands.
Right, and become hard and become whatever you make it.
Yeah, it has to cooperate.
Right.
Right. It doesn't even know what it's going to be when it grows up.
It's an understanding.
That's right.
Right,
It
very
doesn't know
cool.
it. You know, the potter knows the design that he's trying to make it, and it either works out or you have to let it go and you start with
Move
another.
on to the next one.
Yeah, recycle.
Now, what do you ever have mistakes that are not mistakes?
Oh, you know, let me show you one. I don't know if you were old enough like me to remember Bob Ross.
Of course, the
painter.
painter.
Yeah, the guy that painted. He had a saying one time, there are no mistakes.
The happy little accident.
Happy accidents.
Happy accident.
Well, this is one of,
He's still on TV.
yeah, this is one of my wife's.
That's a happy accident?
This is one of my,
Put up close.
Wife's-
Now, why is it an accident?
well, we were making mugs. You can see the similarity of
Very
the
close.
shape.
Yeah, yeah.
We were making mugs. I forget what happened. My wife had this aha look on her face, and she grabbed a knife and went whoosh. And just at that time, a lady literally leaned over. She said, "What are you making?" I didn't even know what she was
my.
making. And she said, "I'm making a sponge holder. I'm tired of my sponges, you know, sitting around and mildewing. I want them to sit up like this and dry."
Makes sense.
And the lady's like,
What a
"I
great
want
idea.
one."
I want one of those.
And
Hence, you got a whole
yeah,
bunch of them.
happy accident. And
Happy
from that time
accident.
on, we've
What a
been
great
making,
idea.
we were making sponge holders. Then a lady came in and said, "Well, I'm going to put napkins in mine." And then
Sure you could.
Another lady came in. She said, "You know, I'm going to do this, or well,
Well, it's utilitarian at this
you
point.
put money there." And that's what we're trying to do. You know, we want to make beautiful things, but something that's useful.
And you do. It's really kind of... And I notice each one is different. Each one of those is
Just-
its own entity.
Just like
I don't know if you can see that. One's
Just-
taller, one's wider, but they're unique in their own way.
just like people. And you can
Yes,
see
yes,
that
yes.
there's through the drying process and through the fire in the kiln, there's going to be a shrinkage. You know,
How
so
much of a shrinkage? What's the percentage?
Probably about 12%.
quite a
So
bit.
you're going to have to, you know, as a potter,
You got to think of that.
you're thinking about all of that.
Is that with everything you do with this clay?
Clay is going to have a shrinkage rate. This type of clay, stoneware clay, I would say average about 12%.
Is that across the board all clay or just this clay?
Every clay is just like people, white, brown, black, red, yellow, just like people, because people were made out of clay. The
That's right.
original people,
Made out of clay.
God scooped them up out of the ground,
And had a potter's wheel.
breathed life into them, and they became, you know, that's
They became their thing.
it. So there's brown clay, yellow clay, red clay, white clay, all types of clay. We work with stoneware clay.
Now, where does this come from?
Right out of the ground. You know, and unfortunately,
Locally?
God's blessed us enough that we don't have to go dig our clay anymore.
Wow.
That's hard work.
Yeah.
So we have people that prepare clay. That's what they're doing.
Is there a lot of preparation to preparing clay?
Yeah, you got to get all the sticks and stones out of it. You know, it goes through, gosh, thousands of. I'll just show you some of my recycling clay. But you can imagine what this would be like if we were in the woods together at a creek.
And it'd be all
Digging
mixed
up.
with everything.
Oh yeah, and just like, you know, you can read in Scripture where He says, you know, God says, "I am a potter." There's a psalm somewhere, I forget the exact psalm. He says, "He dug me up out of a miry pit," and you know, and He established me, He
Right.
planted me. You know, and in the old days, biblical times, this would have been a giant stone, a rock.
Okay.
So you can imagine, you know, what that would have looked like. And it definitely would have had to have been a kick wheel or a treadle
Oh, yeah,
wheel.
sure. No motors.
Something to make it move. We had one of those in Africa when we first got going. We lived in Africa for 15 years, and we've literally taken the potter's wheel all over the world. So then that's why they call it throwing pottery.
That's why that's
We don't throw it at the customers, no.
Although I've had things thrown.
We have to throw it hard enough to make it stick on the potter's wheel like that. That's what we're doing. So, thank God.
I know you're not using your leg.
No, I gave that up.
Must be nice.
I was trying to tell that story.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had one of those old wheels in Africa. But you know, the kids at one point, I could tell they didn't want, what's going on? Well, I figured it out. One of my legs is starting to get real big and strong, and my other legs still stay real skinny.
Yeah.
And when those baboons came and I tried to run away, I kept running
In a circle.
I said, kids, we got to give this up.
I got to use the other leg. That's what I need to be doing.
So thank God for electricity.
Yes. So you spin it around, you wet your hands a little bit.
Yeah, you got to start out centering the clay. That's the first part, is learning to center the clay. So we're using water and we're using pressure to center the clay. I mean, basically, I'll exaggerate this for your audience out there. He don't know what he's going to be when he grows up. I do. I put him on the wheel. But basically, you don't want that.
No, it's going to be hard to hold and spin that thing.
And have you ever felt like that?
Oh, often.
Like, yeah. Tossed to and fro, Scripture would say. Don't be double-minded. Don't be tossed to and fro. What are we supposed to do? Be still. And know that He's the potter. He's God, right? He knows your future. He knows what He wants to do.
And how quick you did that.
And the plans and the designs that He has for us, they're all good. So, you know, you're going to get it centered.
Now, what's that going to be?
Well, I've been set up to do mugs. We've just been working. I usually start every day making mugs, and then I'll move into lamps or something else. But basically, you got to get the clay centered.
Okay.
It's going to be a series of ups and downs, depending on how big the clay is. Just like life, you're going to have some ups
and downs, ebbs and flows.
You're feeling pressure. But if you'll stay in my hands, and I can wash him with this water, I got to remove any stones or sticks that are in him. Remember that old saying, sticks and stones?
Oh, yeah.
Break your bones, but words don't ever hurt. Well, in real life, words do hurt.
Our words are very powerful.
So I'm kind of like doing theology here. I mean, people can see it if they have eyes to see it. You let that stick go, the potter has the power to take it away. I mean, it's literally, people get stabbed in the back with words.
Right. It's metaphorical or it's literal.
Yeah. I got to get that, as a potter, I got to get that stick or stone out of the clay, or it will abort the beautiful thing that I'm trying to make.
And it'll cut your hands.
So it's just like that with people. I mean, if you let it go, the potter has the power to take it away.
That's true.
And that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get this clay centered, and the real potter, the one I work for, he's doing that with me while I'm doing this. And some days,
oh, there you go.
You know, oh yeah. So
that didn't take much pressure at all, did it?
Once you get it centered, then you can go to the next stage of the relationship. There's another scripture I remember. It says, "Behold, I stand at the door of your heart and I knock. If you will let me come inside." Inside, see, then the relationship begins. And that's the way you make pots. You make them from the inside.
I love the way you make that pull out like that.
So I'm inside him now. So you can see the cooperation.
Yes.
So I'm still adding a lot of pressure to the piece, but now the pressure is not going to mess up because I have access to the inside of the vessel. So there's another scripture I love. It says, "Greater is he that is inside me than he that is in this world." We're always going to face pressure in life, but I've got force or power with this hand inside this vessel, and that's what allows it to become what you want it to be. Now he can grow. See?
Yep.
Now he can grow.
It's almost a cup.
Yeah. You know, this tool I'm using right here is called a potter's rib. It's just a piece of wood, but they call it a potter's rib, and you can shape it. You can do all kind of things with these tools.
Look at me.
It's just some wood, and it's got a little hole here where you can hold on to it and it won't fall out of your hand. But you can see how quick I can begin to shape. Really. I can use it to make the mug grow taller like that and thin the walls out and get it just right for your hand. So it's a fascinating thing.
Oh, it sure is.
I love to do it even after, you know, just decades of
doing it. How many years? Yeah.
Oh, we've been doing this for over 20 years. I mean, I went to school to be a millionaire. I don't know what you went to school for, but I wanted to be a millionaire when I grew up. And you can see how long I got to wear my Brooks Brothers suit and nice power tie. And,
jeans and t-shirts.
yeah, the tie don't work out.
I don't wear shirts, ties, and suits.
So here we are. I met my beautiful wife, Mother Teresa. One of the first things she ever said, so I still had the nice suit and I had all the nice clothes. She thought I was a millionaire, I think. But she said, I love you, I'll follow you. And it was a wonderful time in our life. But she said, please don't think we're ever going to Africa.
It's funny you should say that.
I thought, why on earth would you ever?
Where did you come up with that crazy
why would we do
idea?
anything like that?
That's crazy talk.
Yeah, I wanted to be
Right?
an investment broker, work on Wall Street.
Talk
That's why I went
about
to school.
boring.
Yeah.
That would be so. Oh, I got that. I got that.
This is
This is
Muffin.
Muffin.
Hi, Muffin.
A lot
You
of
come in
peop-
and see Muffin.
A lot of people come into the shop
Oh,
just to
she's
see.
so good. Just to see Muffin. She's adorable. Who wouldn't want to see Muffin? No, you're done, basically.
That's one of the hardest parts, is learning how to, once you finish what you're making.
I always thought maybe there was a
Pick it
tool,
up.
but you're just using your finger.
Well, yeah, you take a little bit of something like this fishing line, you
Get underneath.
pull it underneath like that.
That releases it from the wheel.
Yeah, and you learn to kind of twist and lift.
Because the liquid gets underneath it and separates
Breaks
it.
that seal.
Breaks the
And then
seal.
be able to just lift it off.
And put it right there.
And get on to your work.
Look at that.
That, is, to me, was one of the more difficult parts of pottery to learn.
Very good. I enjoyed this. Show me your pamphlet on the camera. And if they want to get a hold of you to have their own specialty mugs or plates or bowls, or was that berry bowl?
Berry bowl
Berry
or
bowl.
a lamp or whatever, they can give us a call at 865-233-6957, or you can email us at pilgrimpottery@gmail.com, or visit the website again. Pilgrim
All the
Pottery.
above. Or come here.
Coming here is the best,
Is the
because then
best.
you get to see me and us.
And the family.
And Moonshine Mike.
Well, probably Muffin the most.
Muffin the most. This is the truth.
And the address here is?
3204 Line Springs Road in Sevierville, Tennessee.
Next to Mountain Brothers,
Next to Mountain Brothers.
General Store.
That's right. We're in their
Very good.
complex.
All right. Thank you for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun. Wave. Everybody wave. We're at Pilgrim Pottery. You see it right there. Check it out. Go to their website. I know you're going to be impressed. Thanks, and I'll see you very, very soon.